Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Extra Care. I'm Jamie Lindon-Lewis, Director of Extra Care, and I'll be hosting today's session. In this episode of Let's Talk Extra Care, we'll be covering how you can seek financial support from us at Housing 21. We'll be talking about your service charges and how to keep safe. And we have a great section around our schemes and the makeovers that we do across them routinely. We'll cover off residence survey that's coming very, very soon. And we'll also do a little bit of looking ahead for the future. A few updates from me in terms of new appointments. So some people might be familiar with Chris Peach. Chris Peach was our Director of Extra Care for many, many years. And Chris has since been appointed as our Chief Operations Officer. So Chris is our executive who's responsible for both extra care and retirement living. So I'm sure you'll give Chris your best wishes along with ourselves. I have recently been promoted to Director of Extra Care, so I get the privilege of leading this directorate and the wonderful team here, and I'm very excited to be working with many of you in the future. And lastly, we've invited on board Carrie Anderson, who is our new Head of Extra Care for the South. So a big welcome to Carrie. But without any further ado, will pass you over to our Head of Extra Care London, Ashleigh Jarvis.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashleigh Jarvis. I'm Head of Extra Care London and South. Jamie's just introduced you to Carrie, who will be taking over my old head role in the South, and of course I wish her the best of luck. I'm here today to talk to you about some financial support options which are available to you on our Housing 21 website, which is purely for residents. If you don't have internet access, please don't worry. Our court managers will be happy to share this information with you. There are some fantastic schemes that may benefit our residents, such as Turn to Us, a UK charity that helps people access financial support through benefits, grants, and advice. They provide tools like benefit calculators to assist those in need and can means test to determine what benefits you may be entitled to. And this does include tax credits. We also have links on our financial support page for attendance allowance. This helps individuals apply for attendance allowance, which is a benefit for those over 65 who have a disability or an illness that requires assistance with personal care or some supervision. They provide support and guidance throughout the application process. And I have recently just gone through this with my father-in-law, and I have to say it was a very easy process. You can also benefit from carers allowance, which is available for individuals who provide regular and sustainable care to someone with a disability or an illness. This could be your spouse or a family member you are supporting. They will also provide guidance for those eligible to receive this allowance. Additionally, we offer in-house support for our residents, and I hope you're all aware of our Helping Hand funds and the posters that are located on your court notice boards. Some of the expenses this fund can cover include utility debts, white goods, some essential furniture, food vouchers, car repairs, vet bills in accordance with our pet policy, new glasses, and some travel costs to essential appointments such as medical visits. Please note there are some expenses this fund cannot cover, such as rent and service charge payments. However, support is available through our discretionary housing benefit payments. Feel free to speak with your court manager, who will happily explain what Helping Hands can do or refer you to a service that is able to help. We also offer housing perks, which is available to residents of Housing 21. This initiative features a user-friendly mobile app that provides access to a wide range of benefits, including attractive discounts to make everyday living more affordable with money off supermarket shops and various other retailers. I've been using this now for a few months and have managed to already save £80 a week on my weekly shop. Lastly, we have Operation Lightbulb, which offers useful hints and tips to help you save energy and reduce your utilities costs. There are several energy companies that provide grants and schemes available to everyone, not just if you are a current customer. As mentioned, this information is available on our resident website. Please take a look or speak with your housing manager, who will be more than happy to share it with you and provide any additional information you may need.
Thank you, Ashleigh. So now I'd like to introduce you to Tracy Jones, our Head of Operational Development, who's going to talk to you today about service charges and how to keep safe.
Hi everyone, thank you Jamie. So my role as Head of Operational Development, you will probably all know, is that I'm responsible primarily for looking after our incoming acquisitions. The other part of my role is supporting operational projects. So today I'm going to talk you through your safety and security, first of all, and then also go through the service charge network group and what we've been doing this year. So residents, as you all should know by now, are expected to test their pendants monthly from inside their accommodation to build confidence and ensure functionality. New residents are informed of this responsibility during their tenancy sign-up. If a resident is unable to test their pendant and lacks family support, the scheme manager will carry out these tests on your behalf. Please do let the scheme manager know if you need this support. This practice is reinforced in newsletters and presentations, and it highlights the importance of emergency preparedness and battery preservation as well. You'll also would have heard about our home visits, or what we've been calling people and property visits, our PPVs that we've used for short. PPVs were introduced in October 2024 to proactively support resident wellbeing and consolidate any property checks into one single visit. 350 wellbeing related actions were raised, with most requests involving aids and adaptations like grab rails and wet rooms. PPVs are scheduled every 6 months for extra care residents, and that's due to the complexity and vulnerability of our residents. Just to let you know, from the last 6 months worth of visits we did, we have got some enhancements underway, which include action tracking for follow-ups, settling in visit questions. They were integrated into the first lot of PPVs that we did to make sure you understood the process, that we were going along with you. Fire alarms checks added for compliance. And then the PPV light option was obviously introduced for our retirement living side of the business. Moving you on now into service charge network group update. So the Residents Service Charge Network Group was established earlier this year in January to tackle resident engagement and communication around service charges and improve our understanding of key areas. Under the wonderful leadership of Tom Long as resident chair, the Residents Service Charge Network Group have made several key achievements this year. So we've been designing for new rent and service charge letters to improve clarity, and we're due to take these to our board in September to have a look and hopefully sign off. We've enhanced communication around service charges for better resident understanding. We've helped develop a service charge toolkit to support our managers to better respond to resident queries. We've created resident-centric literature to explain service charges in accessible languages. Understanding your service charge can be found in the link below. We've also excitedly produced a vlog this year addressing commonly raised topics to engage residents more effectively. Again, the link to this vlog is in the description below. We're now working on our next vlog, and also terminology around service charge consultation meetings. Feel free to link in with us and feedback on our vlogs at any time, along with designing more training as well for our managers at the request of our residents. Don't forget, our resident network group's really important to us, and to achieve this, we couldn't have done it without our residents. Please get in touch if you'd like to be part of the Resident Service Charge Network. We're always looking for new residents to join and be part of making things better for the future.
I'd love to hand you over to Heidi Fisher, who is our National Property Development Manager, who's talking all things makeovers.
Thank you, Jamie. It's a pleasure to be here today. So I work in the asset management department, and I'm responsible for the interior designers that produce the amazing makeovers that hopefully a lot of residents have already enjoyed. So I just wanted to talk to everybody today just a little bit about the process that goes on behind the scenes with the makeovers and how we get to these amazing makeovers that are finished for your enjoyment. Some of you may be aware that the makeovers tend to happen approximately every 10 years or so. We've had to relax the date a little because we've got a bit of a backlog of makeovers that are due, in part due to COVID. As everyone will appreciate, we weren't allowed to really get out and do much during then. So we've got a few that we're catching up on. So we tend to pop out, go and visit the makeovers that are due on the 10-year cycle, and then we will determine which ones are the worst ones and try and prioritise those. And then hopefully by the time we've caught up, we'll be in a position to get back to the 10 years where hopefully then all the makeovers will get completed. So I have a team of 4 designers that work for me, and they each cover a kind of corner of the country, if you like. So they're split 4 ways, and I tend to divvy up their work based on where we've got projects. So we've got Gina that covers the southeast, Tara that covers southwest, Polly covers the northeast, and Maha covers the northwest, and then I line manage them. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the detail that goes on with delivering a makeover. So residents at the heart of everything we do, which I think is really important to say. We are experts in dementia design, so we've got a lot of good practice under our belt. So we make sure that all the designs are dementia friendly, but they're also considered for people with mobility needs and visual impairment. So we always make sure we tick the box for that. Resident consultations are always held before we start a makeover. So we invite as many residents that can attend as possible. And for those residents that aren't able to attend, we do issue some of the mood boards for you to have a look at afterwards and some voting slips, because it's really important that everybody gets a say in what the makeover is going to look like and what colours and choices that you have. So that's really important for us to make sure we capture as much feedback as possible. One of the other things we like to do is chat to residents about how you use the space, because again, sometimes the space that you've got at the moment might not be quite fit for purpose, or how you use the space has changed. So I think it's really important to understand what kind of events do you do, how often do you use the meal services, the restaurant, all the extra lounge spaces, meeting rooms. It's really important to understand how you use them, but how you might want to use them in the future. Another big thing for us that residents have told me, and I get out to see a lot of residents on site, they seem to love, or you seem to love, the reminiscence and nostalgia and having lots of local artwork and things that represent the local area. So when you chat to my design team, one of the things they might ask you is what local landmarks are around, what would you like to see in the artwork, and what are some of your choices. With the extra care, we often do furniture testing days as well. So we'll invite one of the furniture suppliers to come in, and they will bring a sample of furniture so that you as residents get to sit in them and try them out and make sure that they're fit for your needs. So letting you choose what you would like to have in the scheme. I also like to do a lot of work with residents, because how I tend to look at things is I can make a scheme look really nice and then I don't use it anymore. So I think where residents' views are concerned, it's really important for us to make sure that we're doing everything the right way. So I like to involve residents at every step of the way, basically. So from when we're supplying products, we like to get residents involved with the procurement. So when we've shortlisted some of our suppliers, I often work with residents to get them to fill in questionnaires and ask questions of the suppliers so that we can make sure we're getting the best people that provide the best goods. I find that really valuable. And right through the stages, we involve residents. We keep you informed of what's happening and when. And then when the work's finished, it's always nice to have a cup of tea at the end, have a chat, and just find out, how did it go? What did you think to the contractors? What do you like and not like? And for me personally, that's the best way to shape what we do and how we do it, and make sure that residents are involved every step of the way. So I hope that as residents, you enjoy the makeovers and what we do as much as I love getting out to see them. So thanks for having me today.
So next, I would like to hand you over to Ali Dewar, our head of extra care for the North, who's going to talk to you today about the upcoming resident survey.
Thank you, Jamie. Hello, everyone. I'm Ali Dewar, and I'm head of extra care, and I look after the North as a region. So, lead the change, shape your community. It's time for a national resident survey for 2025, and I'll now give you a short introduction to this year's survey, which will be commencing this year on the 24th of September and will be closing on the 29th of October. So, why is the survey important? Well, first off, there's a prize draw for entrants with 10 £50 prizes up for grabs. But honestly, that's not the only reason as to why it's so important. It's important because the survey includes questions linked to our tenant satisfaction measures, which are introduced by the regulator of social housing and who we also report our results to every single year. But the reason that the survey is super important is because resident satisfaction is our core focus at Housing 21. And to help us continuously improve, we need to hear and act upon the voice of our residents. And we'd love nothing more than for you to lead the change and to help shape your community. What is the process for this year? Well, Acuity, our independent research company, are again facilitating this year's survey to help provide an impartial survey service that is fair, anonymous, and unbiased. All residents will be included, including rented and shared ownership properties, with the only exception being Kent PFI, as they are surveyed separately. Each resident will receive a survey pack, which includes a cover letter, along with instructions to complete online, if that's preferred, a paper survey, unless a different format has been requested, and a free post envelope to seal and return your response. So what's different for this year's survey? Well, due to resident feedback concerning the anonymity of their surveys, this year, all households will be given a free post return envelope included in their survey pack. This approach gives residents the flexibility to post their surveys back themselves or to drop it into a pop-up box on site. Surveys will address to properties rather than to the named individual residents, and so as the survey can be tied to the property, so in the event of a new resident moving in during the mailing process, this survey can be distributed and used by them. We've also separated the resident survey and the care survey this year, and this was due to difficulties experienced last year, and the care survey will now run itself later in January 2026. Please also keep a lookout for a message from our Chief Executive, Bruce Moore, discussing this year's survey and its launch, which will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. Now that's all from me, so please, please, please lead the change and shape your community by completing the resident survey this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali. So a plea to everybody to please take part in the residents survey. Your opinions and your thoughts really do mean a lot to us and help us shape how we do things in the future. But coming up in the next few months, we've got our service charge meetings that will be taking place in all of our schemes. And these sessions are a great opportunity to ask questions and learn more about next year's budgets. Also, we know that residents feeling safe at home is a top priority, and we're enhancing how we assess the suitability of our extra care schemes to ensure every resident feels secure and supported. That project will be co-produced with residents, so please keep your eyes peeled because we will be looking for people to help us shape how we do that in the future. That brings us to the end of today's Let's Talk Extra Care. A huge thank you to our speakers for sharing their time and expertise, and thank you for joining us. Our next session will take place in the autumn, so we hope you'll be able to join us again then. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, please get in touch by emailing communications@housing21.org.uk. And if you'd like to stay connected, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.